Well, we have 8-0 Michigan versus 2-6 Purdue this Saturday on NBC at 7:30 at night. And Michigan is seeking their 998th win. Hello, everybody. I am the Dependent Fanatic, and happy Halloween to all of you out there. Wasn't such a happy Halloween for me. I had a minor surgery earlier today, but it's no problems. Little pain, but it's all right. Self-medicating here and trying to get through it. I got another big job starting on Monday, so hopefully it feels better by then. Enough about me. This is about Purdue and Michigan. And I'm going to start with Michigan's offense versus Purdue's defense, and then I'm going to talk about Purdue's offense versus Michigan's defense in the second portion of this video. Michigan leads the all-time series 46-14 versus Purdue, and they won the last 5 straight, dating back to 2009, which was Rich Rod's first season, that horrific 3-9 season. Let's start with Michigan's offense. Quarterback, J.J. McCarthy is 132 for 169 that's a 78% completion percentage, and he had 1,799 yards. Also, he has 18 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. And on the ground, he has 33 rushes for 168 yards, which is a 5.1 average, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Michigan is scoring 41 points per game and getting 422 yards per game offensively, and these are the players that are helping to do that. Running back Blake Corum has 111 carries for 605 yards and 5.4 is the average, and he has 13 rushing touchdowns. Running back Donovan Edwards has 66 carries for 211 yards, and that's only a 3.2 average. He has struggled all year so far. He did get that 1 touchdown. He also has 21 catches for 184 yards. That's an 8.8 clip. And I think against Purdue, this could be the game where he breaks out. Their defense is coming up, and it's not very good. Roman Wilson is at wide receiver, the top wide receiver for Michigan. 27 catches for 446 yards. That's a 16.5 average, and he has 10 touchdowns. Another wide receiver, Cornelius Johnson, has 22 receptions for 383 yards, 17.4 average, and he has a touchdown. And at tight end, of course, Colston Loveland has 23 catches for 364 yards, 15.8 average, and 4 touchdowns. And at tight end, A.J. Barner has 17 catches now for 192 yards. That's an 11.3 average, and he has a touchdown. Obviously, there are more players than just the players I'm going to list in this video, but that is basically your firepower right there on Michigan's offense. On defense for Purdue, they are allowing 30 points per game and 381 yards per game. And their best 2 tacklers, the top 2 tacklers, are cornerbacks. It's never good when your best tackler is a cornerback, let alone your top 2 tacklers. But Dylan Tenneman has 74 tackles and 3 interceptions, and Sanusi Kane has 58 tackles. At linebacker, they have Kydran Jenkins. He has 37 tackles and 7 sacks, so keep an eye on that guy. And at linebacker, Nick Scorton has 36 tackles and 5 sacks. And linebacker Yanni Karlaftis has 37 tackles and 1.5 sacks. These are the people that we need to be paying attention to offensively. Keep those guys out of the backfield, them linebackers. Now, let's talk about Purdue's offense. They are scoring 22 points per game and 349 yards per game, which is not very good. Transfer quarterback from Texas, Hudson Card, is 165 for 278, and that's only 59%. He has 1,717 passing yards. He has 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, almost a 1-to-1 ratio right there. They have a couple running backs. Devin Maccabee is their top guy. Has 112 carries for 520 yards. That's a 4.6 average, and he has 4 touchdowns. Dylan Downing has 42 carries for 164 yards. That's only a 3.9 average, and he has a touchdown. And then they have three pretty good wide receivers here. Deion Burks has 29 catches for 426 yards, a 14.7 average, and 5 touchdowns. And TJ Sheffield has 30 catches for 336 yards, 11.2 average, and he has a touchdown. And at wide receiver, Abdur Rahman Yassin has 25 catches for 329 yards, and that is a 13.2 average. Couple of tight ends. Max Clare has 22 catches for 196 yards. That's an 8.9 clip. And at tight end, Garrett Miller has 18 catches for 146 yards, 8.1 average, and he has 1 touchdown. Now, they're going to go up against arguably the best unit in the nation, which is Michigan's defense. They are allowing 6 points per game defensively and 227 yards per game. The leading tackler on the team is Junior Colson with 45 tackles, but let's not forget, there's no weakness on this defense, so they don't get picked on. No one person gets picked on, so no one really has any huge numbers on this defense. So I'm going to leave a few key players out of this, but I listed some that have the stats. Josiah Stewart is a defensive end. He has 19 tackles and 4 sacks. At defensive end as well, Jalen Harrell, 17 tackles and 3.5 sacks. Derek Moore is a defensive end as well, has 21 tackles and 3 sacks. Now, at defensive line, there's a couple players here as well to mention. Mason Graham, 18 tackles and 1.5 sacks. And Kenneth Grant has 12 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and an interception. Yeah, that's right. As an interior defensive lineman, that's awesome. And then at defensive back, we have Mike Sainer still. Mikey, 18 tackles. This is a mouthful here. 18 tackles, 1 sack, 4 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and he scored on 2 of those interceptions. Touchdowns, returned, pick sixes. He's amazing. And then defensive back, Keon Sabb, 16 tackles, 2 interceptions. Now, there's others like Rod Moore who worked in. He missed the first few games, and others have too. And all these players are out by the middle of the third quarter in every single game. So the stats individually aren't there. But, man, the defense is loaded, experienced, deep, talented. So like I said, this game is on at 7:30 on NBC, and because of off-field stuff, Michigan will be focused on Purdue. It's going to be ugly, like the MSU game, that kind of ugly. Michigan will have no problem to score, and Purdue will not be able to even move the ball. I think Michigan wins versus the Boilermakers in a rout, 56-7. Now I know they're coming off a shutout. Can they do it again? I think they can. But it's hard when them 4th stringers are in there late, 5th string, however deep they go. It's a home game, so the full complement of the roster is there. How many people will play in this game is why I'm leaning for Purdue to get a late score, at least a field goal. So there you have it. 56-7 is my prediction. Thank you for watching the Michigan Purdue preview. Happy Halloween out there, everybody, and go Blue.